Myths are called myths for a reason, because they're untrue. Myths are stories told by ancient people who want to explain a phenomenon or scare people into good behavior, and because we're so much more rational than our ancestors, we modern humans know better than to believe in them. Most of them, anyway. But how would you feel if you knew that some of these mythical creatures may be based on reality? While it is true that most of the mythical beasts you know from fairy tales and the slow news days do not roam our modern world, some of them almost certainly did once, and a few of them might still. Starting with the Thunderbird. This creature is a Native American legend about a bird so huge it can carry a small whale within its talons. Thunderbirds, which are said to be responsible for thunder and lightning, appear in several tribal traditions from the plains all the way to the northwest coast. Reports say that modern people saw a bird with a wingspan of up to 20 feet in Alaskan skies, which makes it a pretty cool myth indeed. Because scientists always like to spoil everyone's fun, some biologists have suggested that the sightings could be a Steller's sea eagle, which is larger and heavier than a bald eagle. Similar sightings could have prompted the Thunderbird legend centuries ago. What's weird about this claim is the Steller's sea eagle is Russian, though it is possible that one could have gotten lost while out for a soar, or something like that. But until a mysterious giant bird decides to take down a killer whale in a full view of witnesses, we may never know if it's a real Thunderbird or just a disoriented Russian eagle. The KRAKEN. Terrorizing sailors and Captain Jack Sparrow for centuries, this horrible creature was said to have long tentacles able to suction your face clean off and pull an entire ship beneath the waves. Scientists today are pretty sure that the legends are based off a very real giant squid, though it is unlikely that giant squids are particularly fond of sinking ships or even suctioning the faces off of quirky pirates. This legendary beast that enjoys killing people was said to be disproportionately huge, roughly the size of a number of small islands. While real giant squids aren't quite that big. Their tentacles can grow up to 50 feet in length, which is big enough. The BUNYIP. This mythical creature is said to haunt Australian swamps and rivers. The BUNYIP is an Aboriginal legend, according to Australian history. The name means devil or spirit, and the creature is said to look like a cross between a crocodile and a horse, though accounts do differ. BUNYIPs stalk and kill human beings and supposedly make an eerie sound like a hollow boom, which certainly seems terrifying if you've never been around any shotguns or farm equipment. In 1839, the remains of an animal called a diprotodon was discovered in Australia, which proved that a huge rhinoceros-sized marsupial similar in appearance to a wombat once roamed the outback. A diprotodon was a plant eater, but it's not hard to imagine that an angry one would be just as terrifying as an angry rhino or hippo. Dragons. While it's certainly true that dragons were never ridden by platinum blonde queens and probably never incinerated entire armies, if you put a medieval knight in the same room as a Dracorex Hogwartsia and then ask the knight if dragons are real, he'd probably say yes. One probable hypothesis for the origin of the dragon legend is the discovery of dragon bones, and it's likely that similar artifacts were also known in Europe, potentially giving rise to the legend of the fire-breathing monsters. According to the Smithsonian, wild Komodo dragons can weigh more than 150 pounds and may exceed 10 feet in length. Contrary to what most people believe, medieval dragons weren't necessarily enormous. Aliens. Most stories of alien visitation here on Earth can be explained by military testing, weather balloons, people who are hoping to write best-selling memoirs about their experience with the gray aliens, and oh yeah, we can't forget Fox Mulder. There is no doubt that humans are obsessed by the idea of life on other worlds, and with good reason, because there's almost certainly life on other worlds. It's just not likely that they have ever made it as far as Earth. Or maybe we are the only life in the universe. The world may never know. NASA scientists are certain that we will eventually find life on other worlds, and some scientists believe it will happen within the next 2 or 3 decades. But aliens are probably not going to show up here in beautiful windowless spaceships, and they certainly aren't going to send Keanu Reeves down to the surface to discuss terms for saving Earth and the human species. If there is extraterrestrial life out there, they're likely just as stuck on their planet as we are on ours, which means detection will most likely come in the most scientifically boring way possible.